It was a pivotal and brutal clash between two mighty medieval powers, England and France. On August 26, 1346, in the fields near Crécy in northern France, a dramatically outnumbered English-led army, commanded by King Edward III, stood their ground against the vast and confident French host under King Philip VI. Edward, a strategic thinker, made a bold and unconventional choice. He ordered his heavily armored knights and men-at-arms to dismount and fight on foot. It was a decision that would defy tradition and shape the nature of medieval warfare. His forces included a blend of roughly 4,000 knights and men-at-arms, 7,000 English and Welsh longbowmen, and another 5,000 infantry spearmen. In total, around 16,000 troops braced themselves for what lay ahead. The English made full use of the terrain and time. They reinforced the defensive line by digging ditches and scattering caltrops, metal spikes designed to maim horses in front of their position. To the rear was the small village of Wadicourt, and one flank was secured by a dense forest and marshland, making a full cavalry charge difficult. Facing them, the French army greatly outnumbered the English, with somewhere between 20,000 and 30,000 men. Their force included the formidable Jenner's mercenary crossbowmen in the vanguard, followed by elite French knights under the Count of Alençon. Among the ranks of nobility was the blind but courageous King John of Bohemia, who refused to sit out the coming fight. At the head of it all stood King Philip VI, confident in his numerical advantage. But signs of disorder quickly emerged. The Genoese crossbowmen, having left their protective pavisses, large shields, in the baggage train far behind, were caught in a sudden downpour. Rain soaked the strings of their crossbows, rendering many of their weapons ineffective. As they advanced, under the stormy skies, their shots fell short, barely reaching the English lines. The English, by contrast, had something new and terrifying: primitive cannon. Though not yet battlefield game-changers, these early hand cannons added to the cacophony and fear, thundering alongside the relentless rain of English arrows. As the Genoese mercenaries faltered and turned to flee, chaos erupted. The French knights, disgusted by what they saw as cowardice, charged straight through their own vanguard, cutting down the retreating Genoese in a bloody display of discipline lost. The battle descended into fury. Wave after wave, up to 15 cavalry assaults were launched against the English position. But the longbowmen, shooting hundreds of arrows per minute, thinned the French ranks mercilessly. The terrain bogged down the French charges, and the English defenses broke the momentum again and again. Piles of corpses, men, horses, nobles, began to form before the English line. In the thick of the fight, the Prince of Wales, just 16 years old, led one of Edward's 3 divisions. Later known as the Black Prince, his division bore the brunt of the French assault. At a crucial moment, a messenger galloped to Edward III, stationed at a windmill overlooking the battlefield, and begged him to send reinforcements to his son. The king's response was stoic and legendary: "Let the boy win his spurs." One of the most poignant moments of the day came when the blind King John of Bohemia, defying all logic and age, demanded to ride into battle. His aides tied their horses' reins to his, and the small group thundered forward in one last noble charge. None survived. They were all pulled from their saddles and killed. Even King Philip VI could not escape the mayhem unscathed. He was wounded, and 2 of his horses were killed beneath him during the battle. Eventually, recognizing the hopelessness of the situation, he fled the field. By day's end, the French army was shattered. Their losses were immense. Over 1,500 knights were slain. In comparison, the English suffered fewer than 300 casualties. The French Oriflamme, the sacred battle standard which signaled no quarter would be given, was captured. As the English surveyed the carnage, the young Black Prince stumbled across the body of the fallen King John of Bohemia. It was a solemn discovery. Amidst an overwhelming victory, the Battle of Crécy would go down in history, not just for its tactics, but for its symbolism, the end of chivalry's golden age and the rise of the common soldier.